radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Welcome, Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah, man. It's here. It's Thursday, Fadernight, January 25th. 25 days into the new year, just 340 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? It's Thursday night, Fader night. Got the No More Fake Newsroom live with Jon Rappoport, followed by open lines all night long. Tomorrow night, I'm over at Coast to Coast AM. My guest will be Jason Martell, followed by open lines all night long. The call-in numbers tonight are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. You can follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio, Facebook, YouTube. Everything is Fade to Black. It's simple to find, Jimmy Church Radio. Go and Google it. When I go and, I'll check analytics once in a while. I haven't done it in a few days. But I'm able to see where people were immediately before our site and immediately after where they go. And I would say it's evenly divided, right? It's like 20, 25%, 25%, 25%. But 25% are Google search. Yeah, bizarre. So, and I can see what they're searching too. Jimmy Church Fade to Black, Jimmy Church Radio, Jimmy Church UFO, Jimmy Church Age. It's up there. And I can see those search terms. But yeah, 25% find us through Google. Interesting, huh? I would think that it would be like 1%. But there you go, 25%. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everything is Fade to Black, and you can just go right now, follow, like, and subscribe over on our website. It is very simple to do. Now, the sandbox, what we do here in Twitter, and I pretty much say this every Thursday night, we use TweetDeck. Okay, TweetDeck. So if you're listening for the first time to this show and you haven't heard me talk about TweetDeck, go and get TweetDeck. It installs right into your browser. I still have the old version, the standalone, but it's a Twitter product. It's called TweetDeck, and it enables you to run Twitter automatically. And instead of having one Twitter thing, right, in your Twitter app or whatever you're using Twitter with on your cell phone or laptop or tablet or however you do it, once you install TweetDeck, now you can have as many conversations as you want in a row and follows and notifications, and it runs automatically. It's very, very, very cool. And it's funny because as soon as I mention it, somebody will, like John here, tweet out his TweetDeck screen. And so you can see it here. Well, he's got the bunker cam on his left. Oh, this is an old picture. John, why don't you post a new one? Because I'm wearing a purple shirt here. Oh, that's last night. It's not that old. But he's got his TweetDeck on the right, and you can see how TweetDeck looks. Each one of those is a notification section and the conversations that go on inside of there. So one of those is hashtag F2B, which is our sandbox. And that just clicks by. Once you... Yeah, thank you, guys. Oh, look at all these gifts tonight. Man, there must be 50. The setup, once it's done, runs automatically. Okay, and one of those columns will be hashtag F2B. That'll be the sandbox. And we do 1, 2, 3, 4,000 tweets a night in that hashtag. Hashtag F2B. It's absolutely nuts what goes on here. And the conversations that are inside of that too as well. It's really, really fun. And then set up another column that is hashtag F2BQ, which is Fade to Black questions. I keep everything up in front of me. I'm a big Twitter guy. I talk about it all the time, either over here on Coast to Coast. Love social media, Facebook. I hang out with everybody and engage all the time. So do just that in real time with the show. Hang out with us. I'll see it here. And come and hang out with all the other Fadernauts. It's really cool. And if you don't have a Twitter account, this is a good reason to go and get one. Just get a Twitter account just for Fade to Black if you don't want to mess around with Twitter, and come hang out with all the other Fadernauts. It's really, really cool. Okay? And now we also have chat rooms. We have the chat room in Spreaker, and I'll say good evening to everybody right now. Because it's Fader night, it's a little bit looser. Oh, I just said good night. Good evening. Good evening. It's a little looser here on Thursday nights. It's just you and myself and taking phone calls and hanging out. Okay, so that's what we do on Thursday nights. Jon Rappoport will be here with his No More Fake Newsroom live at the bottom of the hour, and then we open up the phone lines for the rest of the night. Okay, now let's see. So that gets all of that out of the way. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. I do want to mention, and I do want to thank everybody that has joined in with Numana Emergency Food Storage for their special promotion. And we mailed out a bunch of shirts today to everybody. Numana, this new promo just for the Fadernauts, it's running to the end of the month, January 31st. All you have to do is use the promo code Jimmy10, that's Jimmy and the number 10, and you're going to get 10% off of your order and free shipping and an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt with every order over $100. Now, how that works, once you use the promo code Jimmy10 on the Numana, on the Fade to Black page for Numana, once you do that, you'll get a notification right there for your t-shirt size, and all of that happens automatically. It's very, very cool, and it's very simple. So it's the best deal Numana has out there for anybody on the internet, and it's right here, right now on Fade to Black. The promo code is Jimmy10. All right. Yeah, it's really cool when I send out those autographed T-shirts on those Numana orders. It's very, very, very cool. It's very cool. Our next event, it's coming up. I just mentioned it, the Conscious Life Expo. It's coming up in less than 2 weeks, February 9th through the 12th. 2018 at the LAX Hilton. Now, tickets and info are over at jimmychurchradio.com. Just click on the Conscious Life Expo banner. I'll be hosting and emceeing all weekend. I will host the Ancient Aliens panel on Friday night in the Plaza Ballroom, and my guest will be David Wilcock, Corey Good, Linda Moulton Howe, William Henry, who was on with us last night, and Jay Widener. And that'll be Friday night. And so go get your tickets for that, and you can do that over on the website. And then Saturday night, I'll be hosting their Summer of Love anniversary party that is going down Saturday. So I'll be there. And I'm also going to be introducing and emceeing at all of the, well, not all of, there's 60 speakers, but all around the hotel. Okay, so come and hang out with us. It's coming up. I can't believe it. Weekend after next. Man, it's right on top of us. And then after that, June 1st through the 4th, 2018, We'll be at Contact in the Desert in Indian Wells, Palm Springs, California, at the Renaissance Resort and Spa. Again, head over to Contact in the Desert. Tickets and info are over there. The rooms and everything that are available at the Renaissance, very nice hotel. Nice restaurants, air conditioned, nice pool. It's just great. Outdoor seating areas with fire pits. It's going to be a lot of fun. And great night vision there as well for Night Watch, which we're going to be doing with Bearing Optics. So Contact in the Desert, June 1st through the 4th. I don't have the speaking schedule yet and how things are going to lay out, but more on that as we get closer to June. Okay, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We have over 700 archive shows. It's just $2 a month. Apps available are Apple and Android, all platforms, and you just go to the Apple Store or go to Google and get the downloads that you need, and head over to Libsyn and sign up. The podcast banner is right there at jimmychurchradio.com. Just $2 a month. Now, what we're going to be doing with the membership section of Fade to Black is this. For those that have a Game Changer yearly membership where you get a T-shirt and an autographed hat, kicking off, because those memberships are going to start ending here in the next few weeks. If you signed up when we first offered the Game Changer, those are going to start to end. So if you choose to re-up for the next year, which will be great, we're going to have a brand new Fade to Black T-shirt for the Game Changers, and we're going to have a new Fade to Black embroidered hat. So you got to keep the collection going, right? You got to keep it going. And the only way to get those hats are with the Game Changer membership. Okay, so there you go. That's a little breaking news. The new shirts are going to be really, really cool, too, as well. And you've got a choice, right? Maybe you want to get the old shirt. Maybe you want the new shirt. If you're new here, then you got a choice of which one you want. So there you go. And we'll have that up in about a week. That'll be available for you there. Okay, let's see. Where am I? It's Thursday night. Let me look at the clock. We're doing good on time. Okay, let's get this show cracking. Our dead guy's birthday today is Etta James. 1938 to 2012, lived until she was 73. She died of leukemia. Her hits, At Last, Something's Got a Hold on Me. She had another hit that Foghat, by the way, turned into a hit called I Just Want to Make Love to You. And I think that's the opening song on Foghat Live, right? Or is it the second song? It doesn't matter. But Foghat, so when Foghat did it, I went back and heard Etta James' version. And Foghat slammed on it. But that Etta James version was cool. Etta James, and this is the thing with her. Those two songs, At Last and Something's Got a Hold on Me, are some of the greatest songs that were ever recorded and released. But she ended up, and this is what's amazing about her career, she won 6 Grammy Awards, 17 Blues Music Awards, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1993, the Blues Hall of Fame in 2001, and the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1999. Rolling Stone ranked her number 22 on its list of the 100 greatest singers of all time. Happy birthday, Etta James. On this day in history, OTD, 2005. Now, before I read this to you, the BTK killer, right? I had been following that guy for probably maybe 10 years. It was a fascinating case that he was never caught and had been going on for 20 years. And when I picked up on the case and fascinated with it, and then this happened On this day in 2005, a Wichita, Kansas television station receives a postcard from the BTK killer that leads police to discover that a Post Toasties cereal box that had been altered to contain the letters BTK. And then it happened a month later on February 25th. Dennis Rader, a husband, a father of two, and a compliance officer for Park City, Kansas, was taken into police custody and soon confessed to being the BTK killer. Of course, BTK stood for what he made it up. Nobody gave it to him. Bind, torture, and kill. The BTK killer on this day, 2005. Fader fact. Yep. And this is something you can go and vet right now. And our audience in the Netherlands, I would like to hear from you. Shoot me an email or a tweet. Because in 1568, the Catholic Church condemned the entire population of the Netherlands to death. They did, for heresy. The entire population of the Netherlands. Man, the Pope, right? That's wielding a bit too much power. You got to love that. Unbelievable. Oh, man, I love my River Moon coffee. Tonight is another Fader night. No more fake newsroom with Jon Rappoport, followed by Open Lines. Tomorrow night, I'm over at Coast to Coast AM. I guess will be Jason Martell, followed by Open Lines. And then immediately after that, I'll be heading down to Anaheim, California for the NAMM show. And if you're going to be at the NAMM show, I will be at the Tascam booth at 1 p.m. on Saturday. So come and hang out with us. And then after that, I'm going to walk the NAMM show floor and look at all the cool new products and say hello to old friends. And that will be my day, weekend, and I will rest on Sunday and get ready for Monday on Fade to Black. Okay, so it's all good. So I'll see everybody. What's great is normally this is the end of the week. It's not the end of the week because it continues tomorrow on Coast, and I'll see everybody down at Anaheim at the NAMM show. All right, now I want to set up the show a little bit. Did everybody watch The X-Files last night? Did you watch The X-Files? And I'm watching Twitter now, and who watched The X-Files last night? There's a Raider. Who watched The X-Files? Okay. The Mandela Effect. It was the Mandela Effect. What I found interesting about the show, first off, Chris Carter obviously does his homework. That show last night was written by Chris Carter. And the way that the show laid out with the missing Martian episode from the Twilight Zone, I thought that was pretty clever. And I thought that I had seen that show. That's how clever it was done, or something similar to it. Pretty good, pretty good. And then Reggie in the show last night, who was also the star of People of Earth, pretty much played the same role, right? I thought that was pretty good casting there to have him in the X-Files last night. But it was about the Mandela Effect. And this is the deal. We got it, right? Everybody was, the Fadernauts, Fade to Black audience, and our community watching the X-Files was going, yeah, cool. You guys understood it. And you understood the sarcasm. You certainly understood the historical importance of the Mandela Effect and how it was presented last night. And also, certainly, Scully's skepticism, and then the parallel world reference that they made fun of and backed off of it a couple of times, because even for the X-Files, even for Fox Mulder, Parallel Worlds was pushing it a bit too far. And for us, we were just laughing. We're like, wow, they went there, right? Now, we are in, yes. Look at that. Yes. Yes. Okay. So everybody caught, wow, that's a lot of yeses. That's a whole lot of yeses. Sim Link says not yet. Oh, I just spoiled it. Okay. Well, okay. I won't do any spoilers. But is this. Think about how many, and I'm gonna suggest that it was in the millions, watched the X-Files last night who has never heard of the Mandela effect. Think about that, right? That may have things going on with their memory and their life and their world, and they weren't saying anything to anybody, or maybe they noticed it and just kind of tripped and then filed it back away and then maybe caught something else. But after seeing the X-Files last night, maybe had a conversation with their significant other. Maybe some children in the house brought something up to Dad. Dad, that's kind of strange because I remember, right? Now, that is what I really enjoyed about the show, and it kept going through my mind because Rita and I are laughing, and there was funny elements to the show. I don't know if it ever got serious. The facts about the Mandela effect were presented, but I kept just going through my mind. I wonder who's watching this show that's never heard of the Mandela effect, that is tripping out right now. That benefit of the X-Files for us, you can't measure that. It's like free advertising for us. So now you may be standing around with somebody that doesn't know that you listen to Fade to Black, right? And you're in line at a coffee shop or you're at work and somebody says, wow, man, the Mandela effect is kind of messing with me. And you're going to be able to respond and have a conversation with somebody about the Mandela effect who had never thought. It's one thing to discuss UFOs. And even that was in the show last night as well. It's one thing to talk about UFOs. Everybody knows about UFOs. Everybody knows about that, and they have an opinion, and we can talk about that all the time. Or ghosts, right? Think about the certain other things like poltergeist. Poltergeist was a term inside of our community. It wasn't outside. The movie hits, everybody's talking about poltergeist. Or walk-ins or exorcisms and that element of things and what The Exorcist did that's what the X-Files did last night for our community. Think about that. And I can only imagine, and we can do this, and you Fadernauts can do this right now. You can go and search Mandela effect on Google and see how many times that was searched after the X-Files last night, right? And if somebody dials in, and this is what I enjoy about it. Now, that education went out there. People are going to go and research it. What was presented in the show was enough for anybody to understand what the Mandela effect is and to take a look at their own life, go out and do that research. But now if somebody is just driving down the road and dials into Fade to Black or surfing the net, dials into Fade to Black, here's us talking about the Mandela effect, coast to coast, whatever, they're going to stop and listen because they saw it on the X-Files. And they know that they've been tripping out with certain things in their own life. And that's what was great about that show. And look, that's just the way some people get what they get out of what they watch. You walk out of a movie theater, you've seen a movie, and somebody says, yeah, man, that was great character development. And somebody else will say, I really enjoyed the way it was shot. Somebody else will say, the comedy wasn't there, right? But people get out of what they're going to get out of something, right? That's just it. And for me, in the X-Files, it was cool. It was one of the best shows. It really was ever for the X-Files. But that's what I got out of it last night. I couldn't help but think of the exposure that the Mandela effect just got. Now, I wanted to mention, I think I caught a flaw in the Mandela effect. the facts that were presented last night. I'm going to watch Twitter for this. I need your guys' help. Fox said last night that, and I know he said this, he said that maybe it was a Mandela effect. He said that the Mandela effect has been around as being called the Mandela effect on the internet for 10 years. I don't think that's true. He said 10 years, and then, what's his name, brought up the Nazi, what was it, Mengele? The Mengele effect. For 20 years. Now, but I am pretty sure it has been around glitch in the Matrix. Somebody help me out here. Just Mandela effect. Let's just do it. We'll do it together. How's that? Mandela effect. Boom. Done. It's probably, it's not. False memory, 2010. So 7 years. They would have filmed it last year. I thought it was more like 2014. Oh, that's right. Okay, here it is. The MandelaEffect.com was started. Okay, so anyway, I need some help on this. I want to know exactly what these dates are. I thought that this was 2013. That was my guess. But 2010, nonetheless, that is a mistake, right? It wasn't 10 years. Okay, so anyway, I got to get out of here. I got to get Jon Rappoport in. But I need your guys' dates on this. Lots of red pills swallowed last night on the X-Files. Yeah, it was pretty good. Also, the end, I forgot to mention this. That's what I get for improvising and not looking at my notes. The comments at the end of the show with the E.T. character, I forget his name, when he said, you guys are on your own. We're going to put up a wall around your solar system. You cannot come and hang out with us. We want nothing to do with you. You are on your own. This is bye. Got on his ship. He had the what do you call it? I forget what you call those wheels now. He got on his ship and flew away. A ship that looked like a little bit like Billy Meyer, I thought, too, as well. It's kind of funny. Combination between one of the Nazi vrills and Billy Meyer. Cool merge between the two. Kind of a mashup. But that was interesting. You guys are on your own. We put up a wall. You can do whatever you want inside of here, but you cannot leave your solar system. We don't like you. I was like, wow. That's just amazing. All right. Tonight, it's another Fadernight. Thursday night, open lines all night long. Jon Rappoport is here with his No More Fake Newsroom Live, followed by open lines all night long. What do you think about that? Do you think X-Files did everybody a favor? I think they did. I want to thank Chris Carter for that. Very, very, very cool. Thank you so much. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Get ready for that. We'll open up the phone lines at the top of the hour. I'll be right back with the one and only Jon Rappoport. Stay with us.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Natural Health Solutions with Chris and Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing?
Great, Chris.
Now, you're the CEO of GetTheTea.com, right?
Yes, I am.
What is GetTheTea.com? I mean, is this tea you buy in a store?
Well, no, it's not. Life Change Tea is just that. Life-changing. Life Change Tea is an herbal tea that gently cleanses your body from intruders.
What do you mean by intruders?
Well, intruders are toxins, chemicals, GMOs, heavy metals, and more. They're in our food, in our water, in our air we breathe.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
And Life Change Tea will help you with removing these, as you say, intruders?
That's right, Chris.
Are there side effects with this tea?
Well, you might lose a little weight. When you clean your colon, you lose weight, you feel better, and you have more energy.
Wow. Ronnie, where can people purchase Life Change Tea?
Oh, that's easy. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com.
Ronnie, I want to thank you for being on the show. People, don't forget, GetTheTea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Win big with KGRA this summer. Tickets and hotel accommodations to the biggest conferences, autographed books and DVDs, chances to win all-inclusive conference cruises, and private dinners with your favorite KGRA hosts. Click the contest tab at KGRAradio.com for your chance to win big this summer. Your contact for the best alternative talk radio on the planet. KGRAradio.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Matthew, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
And now, coming to you from the No More Fake Newsroom in deep space, which is the space that we suspect to be true, that the world as it is fed to us every day by the Ministry of Truth is a lie, a false reality, a movie projected on the screen of our subconscious. This, however, is the breakout. All the screens crash, they all go down, and we see the light of day. A new day. No more robots. No more androids. It's the No More Fake Newsroom with Jon Rappoport. Take it away, John.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. Good to be here, folks, as always. Lately, I've been writing a couple of articles about television news, the history of television news, what television news is really trying to do, how it works, the collapse that is television news that is underway and has been underway for some time for various reasons. And I came across an article that I wrote several years ago. I've reposted it a few times, but I'm going to say maybe 4 or 5 years ago, about the famous award-winning 1976 film Network by Paddy Chayefsky, written by Chayefsky. A fantastic film. The best film ever made about media. Maybe the last great film that will be written about media. And I want to talk about it because 1976 this was. and you will see some of the parallels to what we're seeing now in the wall-to-wall insanity of network television news and what they're doing these days, which I think many of you are familiar with. So I'm going to quote some passages from my article, a few quotes from Network the Movie, and talk about that. First of all, the movie concerns a newsman named Howard Beale, played by Peter Finch. And Howard Beale is a star on the network, this particular network, which is financially in the red and heading toward disaster. But he is a genuine star. And one night, as he's doing the news, he reaches the end of his rope. As I'm sure subconsciously or consciously we wish many of these network anchors would, and actually begin to talk about what they feel, what they're doing. Howard Beale snaps on air. And this comes the famous scene that many people are familiar with, where he finally says to people, go to your window, open your windows, and say, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. And people actually begin doing this. And it causes naturally an uproar at the network and in general. And one of the network executives perceives that this is a grand opportunity for ratings because so many people are riveted by this, even though it's crazy and it's completely out of bounds and it shouldn't happen, but it did. So, from my article, I write, the audience is jaded beyond recall. It needs new shocks to the system every day. The adrenaline must flow. The line between reporting the news and inventing it, erase it. Celebrate the erasure. Watch ratings soar. Why pretend anymore? Why spend countless hours preparing and broadcasting synthetic artificial news as if it were real? Does the audience care about such niceties? The audience just wants action. The film proceeds from these premises. Now, Howard Beale, the crazy newsman, even goes further because they leave him on the air because the ratings are going up. And he begins to talk about a deal whereby a foreign entity is going to purchase the network. And he rails against this. And he said this would be horrible for the network to sell itself, especially the news division, to some foreign controlling entity. And in the process, he queers the deal. And this reaches, of course, the attention of the character in the film named Arthur Jensen, who is the head of the gigantic mega corporation that owns the network. And he brings in Howard Beale into his huge cathedral-like conference room and talks to him. And there is this famous speech in the movie where Arthur Jensen says to him, to Howard Beale, "You have meddled with the primal forces of nature, Mr. Beale, and I won't have it. Is that clear? You are an old man who thinks in terms of nations and peoples. There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no Russians. There are no Arabs. There are no third worlds. There is no West. There is only one holistic system of systems, one vast and immane, interwoven, interacting, multivariate, multinational dominion of dollars. Petrodollars, electrodollars, multi-dollars, Reichsmarks, Rins, rubles, pounds, and shekels. It is the international system of currency which determines the totality of life on this planet. That is the natural order of things today. That is the atomic and subatomic and galactic structure of things today. And you have meddled with the primal forces of nature, and you will atone. Ned Beatty, the actor, plays Arthur Jensen. Fantastic speech. And Beale, the newsman, caves in. He now, because he is beyond the end of his rope, crazy. And he now adores Jensen, and he wants to be his slave and his mouthpiece and his front man, right? Meanwhile, what has happened to the network is that the head of programming for the network, played magnificently by Faye Dunaway. The character is named Diana Christensen. She begins to formulate new shows for the network based on crazy. She's going to take the news division and the entertainment division and every division into complete crazy land and bring ratings that the network has never seen before. And I write, thus emerge new shows with soaring ratings. Howard Beale, prophet of the airwaves. He now becomes like a religious figure with robes, and he's talking to a live studio audience. He's no longer even doing the news, right? The Mao Zedong Hour, in which a guerrilla group films itself carrying out armed bank robberies live on television, and Sybil the Soothsayer, a tarot reader. Diana becomes the network's new executive star. There is no longer even a pretense of a need for news anchors to appear authoritative, objective, or rational. Does that sound familiar? Diana Christensen is unstoppable. She sees with burning clarity that audiences are bored to the point of exhaustion. They now require, as at the end of the Roman Empire, extreme entertainment. They want more violence, more insanity, out in the open, on television. In promoting her kind of news division, she tells network executives, and here's another wild speech from the movie. Look, she says, we got a bunch of hobgoblin radicals called the Ecumenical Liberation Army who go around taking home movies of themselves robbing banks. Maybe they'll take movies of themselves kidnapping heiresses, hijacking 747s, bombing bridges, assassinating ambassadors. We'd open each week's segment with that authentic footage, hire a couple of writers to write some story behind that footage, and we got ourselves a series. And she talks about Beale, and she says how big a share the ratings are. He went on the air as a newscaster and yelled bull bleep for 2 minutes, and I can tell you right now that tonight's show will get a 30 share at least. I think we've lucked into something. I see Howard Beale as a latter-day prophet, a magnificent messianic figure, inveighing against the hypocrisies of our times. Monday through Friday, I tell you, Frank, that could just go through the roof. Do you want to figure out the revenues of a strip show that sells for $100,000 a minute? One show like that could pull this whole network right out of the hole. Now, Frank, it's being handed us on a plate. Let's not blow it. This is where she's taking the network. All pretense is gone. It's all about ratings and massive shock and insanity and so forth, right? She lives and feeds on adrenaline. So does the viewing public. Nothing else ultimately matters. The individual and his thoughts are completely irrelevant. That is the setup, you might say, for the movie. And eventually, what happens is when Howard Beale begins to spiel Arthur Jensen's worldview and universe and galactic view about money and mega corporations and there are no more nations, his ratings go down, 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 down. The audience is not interested at all. And Diana says, we've got to take this guy off the air now. It's horrible what's happening. And the network executives say, yeah, we should. But the boss of bosses, Arthur Jensen, refuses. He wants him on the air. Right? And then I write, Diana sees only one way out of this ratings disaster. Kill Beale on air during his show. And so it is done. Boom. But the fantastic thing about this movie, aside from the acting, which is superb, and the writing, which is brilliant, is that the movie is really all about words, dialogue, monologue, about television. There are only really a few minutes of television that are shown in the movie. Everything else is about television. So what Chayefsky, the scriptwriter, is doing is he's pitting his words against what television has become. Let's see if I can give you another sample here from this great, great movie. Here's something that Howard Beale, says to the audience before he goes down the toilet while he's still at the height of his anger. He says on camera, he says, so you listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television's an amusement park. It's a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom-killing business. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. But you people sit there day after day, night after night, all ages, colors, creeds. We are all you know. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal. You do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like the tube. You eat like the tube. You raise your children like the tube. You even think like the tube. This is mass madness. You maniacs, in God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion. And when you walk out of the movie, you realize that Chayefsky wins. His words are stronger than television. Television is about image. Television bypasses the rational mind. Television, and especially television news, give you strings of images with voiceover that tell you the story that they invent about these images, and people suck it in. But television is basically moving images that bypass the mind that can think and reason and make distinctions and decide what's real and what isn't. That's the power of television. Chayefsky knew that. He saw that, and he decided to write a movie about television in which he would put up his words against the power of television. And as I said, you walk out of that movie and you realize that he wins. In that hour and a half, he wins, and television loses. None of the critics understood that, I have to say, who wrote about the movie. But that's what he was aiming at. That's what he was showing. By words. And I write in my article here, the modern matrix has everything to do with how knowledge is acquired. Television, in the main, does not attempt to impart knowledge. It strives to give the viewer the impression that he knows something. There is a difference. Knowledge, once established, is external to and independent of the viewer, whereas the impression of knowing is a feeling, a conviction, a belief the viewer holds after he has watched moving images on a screen. That's what's happening. That is also why, if you look at any number of YouTube videos about serious subjects, in some of them you will discover that you don't really know when you're done what you saw. You'll have an impression that something has been revealed or proved or demonstrated. But if somebody were to come to you and say, well, how do you know that it was proved? You'd say, well, just watch the video and then you'll know. In other words, the video will give you an impression that you know. Jimmy?
I have to jump in, John, because a couple of things. You're absolutely 100% spot on. And there's a couple of things that I just want to say really quick and get your reaction to. First off, we have a generation gap here. There is a large chunk of this audience that has never seen the film, right? And I just need to comment about that because the Writers Guild of America voted Patty's script, Chayefsky's script, one of the 10 greatest screenplays in the history of cinema. That's the Writers Guild of America. And that's how important the legacy of what this film represents now is beyond measure. And Aaron Sorkin, who we love, right? And we respect his writing talents so much. He's a brilliant guy. He made this comment, this quote, and it was a couple of years ago when I heard him say it. And I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, not even George Orwell predicted the future like Chayefsky did. Right? And that's how significant this film is. And now this is where I want your comment. In this generation gap that we have here, right? So the millennials, let's say the film came out in 76. So everybody born in 76, everybody 40 and younger. And that's a pretty broad stroke of the pen. I think you would agree. 40 and younger, if they saw this film today, I think their reaction will be, so what? Right? That is.
Well, maybe. That's we're on that edge.
We're on that edge.
On that edge,
right.
Because here's the question. Yeah, you bring up a great point. Are people who were raised from, the womb, right?
Right.
On television and screens and then, of course, the internet and so forth, are they going to be able to go and watch this movie, which, of course, you can get, and I highly recommend it. Will they be able to appreciate the words and the language in the film to the degree that they understand the power of what this film is doing vis-a-vis television? Or are they just going to watch the film like another series of images that move by on the screen?
Exactly.
Or are they going to say, well, yeah, for 1976, he was pretty, prescient and saw what was about to happen. But now we see it on television. We don't have to watch this movie because we can see the craziness on television. I don't know. But it's worth a shot because I have a feeling, especially in your audience, that there's a lot of people who, if they haven't seen this movie and they go see it and they really look at it and listen to the words, they're going to be moved. Really moved.
That's right. And the flip side of it is it predicted the future. So that 40 and younger crowd that I just mentioned would also look at it not so much of a film predicting the future, but a historical documentary. Right? This is what's going on. You know,
they would.
Yeah, because it was in '76 when I first saw the film, and I saw it so many times growing up, and I watched it just recently again too. That I just thought we'll never get to that day, right? We'll never. I'm not sure that it's ever going to spin out of control quite like this. It's entertaining in the words we need to heed. But I don't know if we're going to get there. And I'm here to tell you, John, we are living Network. We are living that film today.
Yes, that's absolutely right. When you can tune into any panel show on any network, which is purporting to be the news kind of, the anchor says, now we're going to bring on the panel. And they start talking, right? And you start to see, everybody's agenda and how insane they are and obsessed they are with getting this agenda across, and they will say anything in order to do it. I mean, just anything, right? We're there. We're in the middle of this thing right now. It's happening. So, but I still think that the film will have enough power with people who, were raised on screens from the time they were babies to get this and I think even maybe more than ever, because I've watched this thing, I don't know how many times. Right. And when these certain speeches come out, they just roll out, baby. I mean, you're just caught up in the language and the delivery, and it's just, it's amazing. It's an amazing piece of work.
Academy Awards: Best Actor Peter Finch, Best Actress Faye Dunaway, Best Supporting Actress Beatrice Straight, Best Original Screenplay, of course, Chayefsky. The only other film that has ever done that, multiple actors, and the only one was A Streetcar Named Desire in 1951. That that's the power of this. And you think about that cast. Duvall, Ned Beatty. Aside from Deliverance, right, which was pretty powerful, that is probably Ned Beatty's best role, and all of his roles were his best.
And William Holden.
It
could have been his best role.
No doubt.
And Sunset, Boulevard. I mean, he plays a fantastic. He's like, the Dan Rather, the Walter Cronkite, the Britt Hume, the traditional anchor who's at the station, and he sees this whole insanity developing. And he's already at the end of his rope, too, and he tries to deal with all of this. So everybody's performance, and Faye Dunaway, is just, you can't have this movie without her doing it the way she does, because she is television. She's television incarnate. ADHD.
Yes.
To the hilt. Right?
Yes.
It's got to be this, and then it's that, and then it's this, and then it's that. Let's have sex. Okay, that's over. Now back to work. Give me a cup of coffee, and here's what we're going to do, and blah, 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 blah. She's electric.
One day over drinks, I'm going to tell you my Faye Dunaway story. Can't do it on the air. Can't do it. Can't do it. It's got to happen over drinks, but it'll be worth it. It's worth a plane ticket. Hey, John, thank you for that. And after the show tonight, Rita and I are going to watch Network, and I suggest that everybody listening to this show does the exact same thing. Thank you so much for bringing that home, man. That was really well done.
Thank you, Jimmy. Great to talk to you.
You're the best. Jon Rappoport. And again, everybody, John, his website is the reason to have the internet. And start your day every day at nomorefakenews.com. He coined the term 20 years ago. He beat everybody else to the punch. All right, that's it. It's Thursday night. It is Fadernight. Have you seen Network? I would love to hear from you. That is a strong, powerful movie. All right, Fadernight, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Everything is on the table. Your phone calls are next. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go Beckley Tappy.
Hello, I'm Katie and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Ancient Life Oil. Life-changing. The real oil. CBD is truly Ancient Life Oil from the source. This oil has no psychoactive effect and is also legal in all 50 states. When you're healthy, you're happy. The truth about this wonderful plant is that it wants to give back to mankind life, longevity, and happiness. Ancient Life Oil are golden grade, all organic, non-GMO, and infused with high-quality liquid coconut oil. It's simple. Just go to ancientlifeoil.com today. That's ancientlifeoil.com. The best, purest, organic, and non-GMO CBD in the world. Go Beckley Tappy. The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. Sorry, I was tweeting. What is the one film, I was thinking about this during the break. What is the one film that you think everyone should see? I mean, the one film that you think everyone should see. And give me a call. I do want to hear from you. Phone lines are already jammed up, and I see everybody trying to get through. But what is the one film you think everybody should see? I'm going to tweet that out right now. That's the question. And I'll get to the phones here in just a second. It's Thursday night, Fadernight, open lines all night long. And Jon Rappoport was just talking about the historical significance of the film network. And truly, it is that. It is a film I think everybody should see. It doesn't matter what the age, what generation. It is probably as significant today as it has ever been because of what we're going through now with mass media and television and the news. No question about it. This film was written and released in the mid-'70s. 1976 is when the film was released. Hugely successful on the award circuit. It was for everybody acting in it. it was a high point of their careers. There's no doubt about it. But Jon is exactly right. It has been recognized by its script, its words, that it is so powerful and so strong. Some of the monologues and some of the speeches that go down in this film are hugely powerful. So with that, I just want to throw that question out there. What is the one film that you think everybody should see? Let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is Nathan in Ohio.
Hey, Nathan in Ohio. How are you?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's Thursday night, Fadernight, and you're calling me. So what's on your mind?
Well, really what I wanted to tell you was I had this concept come to me that I wanted to run by you about how the Earth being a training ground for souls, which isn't a new idea to the Fade to Black audience, but I think that a lot of the chaos that we see in the world is there on purpose to keep the place chaotic, because if it's not chaotic, how does the soul learn to live in a world?
That's right. Yeah,
Or learn.
Yes. And that is a point of view that I think everybody should consider and bring into their life. You know, because there is a lot of, I want to use a bad word here, but I'm not going to, but there's a lot of badness in the world. There's a lot of bad people. There's a lot of bad examples of bad things. And one has to just sit back and ask yourself, why? Right? Because there are good people in this world that experience pain. You know, why, you know, what is going on with all of that? But one thing is for sure. If the world was one big loving place, then you don't have anything to learn from. And you have to experience the bad to learn from it. You have to. And as painful as that is to think about, you know, and to go through so many, you know, I'll give you a really, really, really simple example. I know, Nathan, what I'm about to say is true. I know that you had somebody that got under your skin in school, somebody that you could not stand, somebody that you would look at, and no matter what, that person who you just couldn't stand the sight of, just got everything too. Was a bad person, but yet maybe always had money, or always had a girlfriend, or always had the new car, or always had whatever, got away with things, and you just would say to yourself, and it would get under your skin more and more, and you're like, man, I'm a good person. And I don't get any breaks. How come that doofus over there who causes me trouble every single day of my life in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, and now I'm a senior in high school, and I'm still putting up with this dude, and he's gotten all the breaks? It's just, life is not fair. You went through that, didn't you? I did.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I know you did. You know what? Everybody does. He has somebody in his life that he looks at like that too. And that's what's really trippy. But this is what happens from that. You learn from that experience. You learn from that. And that's what's most important here. If you didn't have that, you wouldn't have that life's experience. And that goes on all around this planet, you know, and that's really, really, really the truth. If we just had that frame of mind, I think we would all understand a little bit more on why we have to go through these things. And it's the truth.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, thank you so much, Nathan. First phone call of the night, and probably the best. Thank you for that.
All right, thank you.
Have a great night. That's a great phone call right there. Nathan is absolutely right. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's me, Arturo. I'm sorry I haven't called in a long time.
Oh, man, I don't even know who you are. Who is this?
This is Arturo Portillo, the filmmaker.
I have no idea who you are. I forgot. You abandoned us. I know. You're out there doing the Hollywood thing. You're getting awards and scripts, and you're out there filming and shooting and hanging out, and you got your own Star Wagons dressing room. And if Fade to Black doesn't matter anymore, man, you're a star. How are you, Arturo?
I'm doing well, Jimmy. Thank you.
How many awards have you won this week?
This week? Oh my God! No, I actually just won one award.
I saw it, and congratulations for that, by the way. So,
thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now you're the perfect person for the question. What is the one film that you think everybody should see? And you and your filmmaking buddies, you guys all sit around at the cool coffee shops and talk about this exact question, don't you? What is the one film that everyone should see?
Oh, that's a tough question. There's too many films out there that are just too good.
Oh, there's one. There's one that you think is the shiz nickel that everyone should see. That I know you have this in your brain and you've discussed it before. So, what is that one film that you put above everything else?
Wow. God. Well, I do like The Network. I can tell you that.
Yep.
Well, I guess it is tough. Network is up there, actually.
Yeah.
I remember watching it when I was a teenager.
Right.
And, but yeah, The Network, or for those ufologists out there, I would say Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Right.
But The Network, actually, that would work for me.
Yeah, it's up there.
I've discussed it with my friends, and none of them heard about that movie, and I was telling them, you never heard of The Network? Where this guy screams out of the window to tell everybody to scream out the window that you're not going to take it anymore?
Yes.
And they've never heard of that movie before.
But they've heard the quotes. That's the other thing, right?
They've heard the quotes.
Yeah, everybody's heard the quotes from the movie, and that's pretty funny because when they go, I know that some people will go and see the film and go, that's where that came from. Oh, I'm mad as hell and I'm just not going to take it. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. So what's on your mind tonight?
Well, we're talking about movies. I just wanted to throw out a movie out there. I don't know if anybody has seen it, but of course we've all heard about that recent Detroit, Michigan, where that comet fell or the meteor fell.
Yes. I saw the newscast. I was watching that live, actually. That was pretty interesting.
Oh wow! Yeah, it's strange. It just made me think of a movie that came out in I think in about 4 or 5 years ago called Coherence.
Okay.
There's nobody that well known, but it's just a good movie. It takes place all in one place in the house about a group of friends that decide to get together and watch a meteor that's very close to Earth, and then strange things start to happen. But I'm not going to ruin it. It's called Coherence, and anybody can check it out. It's a pretty good movie.
I will check it out. I'm watching a few things right now. There's a new series. I don't know if it's on. Oh man, it might be Showtime. I don't know. Counterpart, and it's on one of the movie networks, and it's really cool with J.K. Simmons. Parallel world, kind of like Fringe. And before I say kind of like Fringe, they've only had one episode so far, but trying to figure out what's going on. But there is a parallel world. There's two. I don't want to give it away. Well, it's in the very beginning. J.K. Simmons meets his counterpart, him, that's living in the other world. And I think they call it the other side. And he's working for an intelligence service. And so anyway, and they're both intelligence officers, but one is kind of a doofus secret agent, and one is a badass secret agent. And they live parallel lives, but they're just a little bit different, right? So there's that. There's another movie out, or a TV series we've been watching called Travelers, and we're watching the second season right now. That's really good, and that involves
Eric McCormick. Is it,
yes,
right?
yes, Eric McCormick, and that involves a meteorite as well. And I don't want to give that away, but a meteorite falls and changes the course of history. But I don't want to get into that. It's a subplot, but that's what the series is based around. Also very interesting that it's what we're talking about here. So, and the Mandela effect comes into play with all of these because of, the changing of history and things being just a little bit different. So, what film are you working on now? What are you doing?
I'm working on an action packed revenge movie called Beaten.
Okay.
And we have about 4 scenes left to shoot. But since, we film every other weekend, it's taken a little bit longer than expected.
Well,
but we hope to... Huh?
I was going to say, all of your stuff has been really good. And is the short film that you did, man, with E.T., is that up anywhere for people to see?
Oh, yes. That actually deals with comets, too.
Yes, it does. That's right. Is that up?
It's called... Yeah. It's on YouTube. It's called Cosmicophobia with a K. K-O-S-M-O.
Yeah, okay.
And but yeah, that all my little short films are up there. Oh, yeah. I also did a short film about a month ago called Exit Strategy.
Yeah, I saw you post about that. Cosmic Phobia right here. Okay, I'm gonna post this up for you. And
Cosmicophobia.
Cosmicophobia. And uploaded by Hector Dez. Oh, here it is. Okay. I've got it right here. Okay, I've got it on Vimeo, and we can watch it right here. Okay, I'm going to post this up in Twitter for you. That's a great little.
Thanks.
That's a great little short film, man. Thank you so much, Arturo, man. Be safe and be well, my friend, and don't be a stranger. It's been like 3 years since I've talked to you.
I won't be a stranger.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
No problem, Jimmy. Talk to you soon.
I'll talk to you. That right there, that's Arturo. Now, going back to the very beginning of Fade to Black, the beginning, it was Arturo that was with us from the first broadcast. Might have been, I think, his claim to fame, and I could be wrong here, but I think his claim to fame was he was the second caller on Fade to Black. He was the second caller. Okay, let me get this up. Arturo's, man, I can't suddenly short film. Okay, there you go. Boom, it's up. I got to put the links up. It's a very, very, very good film, and the ending is worth its weight, man. It's pretty well done. Pretty well done. Okay, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Casey.
Casey.
Asian Fadernight.
How are you, man?
Wonderful, Jimmy. And you?
I am always great when we hear from our Indian producer at large. Our Indian producer at large. So there you go, man. How are you?
Yeah, wonderful, Jimmy. I'm listening to your show all week. You are talking about Bitcoin. So this is the one day I can talk to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to get the Bitcoin call sooner or later. So.
Yeah, see, I agree with you. It's 50-50, okay? I want to know, before telling you anything about Bitcoin, do you have this thing towards only Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency?
Do I? No, I do not. I will buy it with your money, though.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to buy you some. I'm going to. Yesterday, it sounded like you were challenging. So I'm at the end of this call. I'm going to challenge you. It's very tough to challenge Jimmy Church. I know very well whom I'm talking to.
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
But this is the thing, Jimmy. Assume that I'm going to give you a basket of fruits, okay?
Okay.
In a basket of fruit, there is real pineapple, there is real orange, there is real grapes, and you are putting it on the table. Then all of a sudden, I'm coming and putting a apple picture which is drawn on the paper in front of all those fruits.
Right.
So now, what is the difference with this real fruit and the paper fruit?
Right.
Paper fruit is fake, but all the other things are real fruit, right?
Right.
It's like that. Bitcoin came as the first cryptocurrency, so that's why it's up. But there are a lot of other currencies which I invested, and I'm holding it. For example, say I have a currency called Cardano.
Uh-huh.
I bought it for 3 cents in November, and January 1st it went up to $1.50. Now it's trading at 85 cents.
Right.
And I have more than 5,000 coins on that, and I'm expecting close to $5 to $10 by next year this time.
Right.
I have Verge, I have Tron, I have Saya, I have Golem, Gobinode. These are all based on some products. You know, like for example, if you look at Saya, it's a competitor to Amazon Cloud, Microsoft Cloud, like that.
Uh-huh.
Golem is something like sharing our. I leave my computer all night. It's on. So when I sign up to Golem, my processor speed will be used by them, and I'll be paid in a cryptocurrency.
Right.
So there are a lot of coins which is based on something. And a lot of people, they'll say, hey, you cannot fight against the bankers. You know, they are going to kill you. For that, we have a coin. I have a Ripple coin, which is like I bought it around 13 cents. Now it's trading at $1.50. During Christmas time, it went up to $3. This coin is for the bankers, and this Ripple coin signed an agreement with Bank of America. So, like, for example, if I send $200 to you wire transfer, they are going to charge me $50 for that wire transfer. So now Bank of America is going to use this Ripple cryptocurrency, so the transaction fee will be in rupees. in $1 or $2.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of good cryptocurrencies which can invest. You know, I'm like your GetTheT.com CEO said in your show. It's another stock market, but only difference what I like in this is a small guy like me has an equal part. For example, when the Facebook came out as IPO, we can never buy that Facebook share for first 2 months. All the big Babylonian bankers, they got everything. And then by the time when we went into the market, the Facebook value was already like $60-70. They all got it for 20. So here there is a equal play. Then the next thing is, you mentioned in yesterday's show that buying cryptocurrency with dollar, so you need $1 to buy it. I don't see any problem with that. Tell me, Jimmy, which one you prefer if I give you 100 ounce of gold, okay,
mm-hmm.
or 100 ounce worth fiat currency, like dollar or whatever you say, dollar,
fiat,
pound,
whatever,
rupees.
yes, right.
Yeah, anything. And I'm telling you not to spend, whether it's a fiat currency or gold. You got to hold it for 1 year. So which one you prefer?
I prefer the one when my car runs out of gas, that I can go to a gas station and get some gas and a gas can and go back and put gas in my car. And you can't do that. You can't do that with Gollum or Ethereum or Bitcoin.
No. You can do that.
No, KC.
No. There is a cryptocurrency called 10x.
No.
Yeah, 10x.
Not out.
10x is a debit card.
But listen to me. Not out in the middle of the desert. I need to reach in my pocket and pull out a $20 bill. I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to
right
be.
now,
Casey,
right now, you cannot do it.
Casey,
Right now, you cannot do it. Cryptocurrencies are in the market for last 10 years. our fiat currencies are there in the market for last 250 years.
That's right.
If we give a little bit more time, you are going to see.
No doubt.
You are going to see.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah. But you said today, if this was presented to me today, what I need, if I'm walking down the street and I am thirsty and I see a guy sitting on the side of the road who is thirsty, and I say, you know what, man? Here. And I reach in my pocket and I pull out some green fiats that he knows, right? I can't turn, hey, man, let me give you 100th of a Bitcoin.
No, I agree. Today, it's like that.
It is, but
it's going to evolve.
It will evolve. Casey, we're headed towards a break here, so I want to thank you for calling in. But before we go to the break, my deal is this: right now, Bitcoin, all cryptocurrencies are misnamed. They're not currencies yet. Right now, they're purely an investment, like you said. So, but in a couple of years, 5 years, 10 years down the road, it could be a different story. But today, I prefer the money that folds. And that's where I'm at,
Yes,
man.
Jimmy, I agree with you, but this is the thing what I want to make a point about it. So any fiat currencies, it's not money. Today's program, you said Bitcoin is not a money. Same thing, dollar, pound, rupees, anything is not a money. What I consider as money is gold and silver.
Right.
You know, there is a very good video by Mr. Mike Maloney, goldsilver.com.
Mm-hmm.
He put a thing, what is the difference with the money and currency? And it's like that. Just because I'm buying a gold with dollar or rupees, it's not, the gold is not going to lose the value.
That's
and you
right.
mentioned one more thing. If it's so precious, why you are selling it? You know, same thing. If I give you $5,000 right now, and if you hold it, take a paper and say what are all the things you can buy for $5,000 right now, and keep that $5,000. After 2 years, check the list. Your dollar or any fiat currency, that value is going to go down. So what my point is, I'm holding. I work in a place. For my hard work, they are paying in dollars, and all of a sudden, a guy like Ben Bernanke or a lady like Helen, they will come and put the interest rate down, and the money what I made for my sweat, what I got that dollar value is going to go down.
That's right.
So that's going to happen no matter what, whether it's a cryptocurrency or fiat currency.
Yeah, you're absolutely 100% right, Casey. And then there is this. This is the part that everybody out there needs to understand. If you're trading in cryptocurrencies or if you are not, let me make something perfectly clear. Whatever that cryptocurrency is, you are buying it and supporting it and backing it and propping it up with dollars. Don't forget that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's
no.
That's it.
That's
Listen,
right.
I gotta.
Right.
I gotta.
You know,
they say when somebody goes, "Hey, man, man, dollars aren't backed up with gold, man." Well, you know what? Bitcoin is backed up with dollars. With that, hey, Casey, I gotta head to a break, man. Don't be a stranger, man. I love your voice.
Yes. Well, sure, Jimmy. And before you're going to break, I'm going to tell you, 1 year from now, we are going to talk. If I don't make money and if I don't get the projected one, I will come personally to LA. If you don't allow me to come into the bunker, I'll stand in the street and I'll let you know. I'll come and say that I lost the game. But if I make money and if I prove you next time when you come to East Coast, you got to come to my house for a day of dinner with Rita. That's all I'm asking.
That's fair enough. That's a bet. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk.
Sure.
Casey, be safe and be well, my friend.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thanks a lot. Good work.
Thank you so much. Casey, our Indian producer at large. This is Fade to Black. More of your phone calls next. It's Thursday night, Fader Night, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. Stay with us.
We are out here. We listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. And last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously. Go Beckley Tappy.
Do you worry a lot? Whether you're a college student, busy professional, parent, or grandparent, ongoing stress and elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol can rob your memory, your health, and your future. Now you can combat the effects of stress and anxiety while improving your memory and recall at the same time with the dietary supplement Calm and Clever. Studies show that the ingredients in Calm and Clever reduce cortisol by as much as 30% in 1 to 2 weeks. Call 1-800-758-8746 or calmandclever.com.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight. I'm in the chair. Open lines all night long, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Let's go back to the phones. Area code 614. You're up next on Coast. Up next on Coast. Up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Chris.
Hey, Chris. How are you?
Pretty good.
You like that slip up? I just said Coast. That's tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's all good.
Man, it shows
we all get confused from time to time.
It's it's the same microphone. It all looks the same in here. That's a Mandela effect, parallel world. What's on your mind tonight, Chris?
Two things. One on the movie. I could name a lot, but the one I would recommend that most people probably haven't seen would be The Wave. The German movie.
Oh, yes. I've seen it. That's a good flick, man.
Yeah.
That's a good flick. I forgot about that. That's a good one. And you know what else? Also German out now that in a weird way, kind of the same thing. The Dark. Have you seen that yet?
I have not seen that.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah, it's called The Dark, and it's like it's subtitled. It's German, and some are saying it's the German version of Stranger Things. But what's weird about it is I'm not sure. I'm still a little confused. I don't know if The Dark would have been made if Stranger Things wasn't made. But I don't want to make that claim.
Kind of like a German spinoff.
Yeah, I don't want to make that claim because maybe it was in development before Stranger Things, and it's just a coincidence, right? But they were released at the same time, and it involves kids and the woods and a crazy factory in the background causing parallel world stuff, right? So, I mean, it's just like, it's a little too similar, right? It's a little too similar, but nonetheless, it's really well made. It's called The Dark. I'll tell you another good foreign film that most people have never seen. Again, it's subtitled. It's called The Tin Drum. You ever see that?
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's another good one. Okay, moving on. Okay, so The Wave. Yeah, I'm with you on that. The Wave's a great flick.
The other thing on the Corey Good topic.
Uh-huh.
I know you have lots of people that agree or disagree with him. But I noticed nobody ever brought this topic up, that if he is an empath that's extremely powerful can take on memories of somebody else.
Okay. That's something to consider.
For instance,
well, go ahead.
Like I am, and if you were to sit down and talk with me and tell me an emotional story, true or not, I can relive your memory.
Right.
As if it was my own.
Right.
And so if he's got other stuff going on that prevents him from being able to discern his memories from others, then in a sense he would have actually experienced those things, but not him personally.
Right. And if that is the case, and let's use this as an example, what would be wrong with that?
Nothing. I'm just saying that.
Right. No, I'm asking
seems to have
you.
Brought that up. And
right. No, I'm asking.
He did it or he didn't.
Right. Yeah, I'm just asking you, what would be wrong with that if that was the case? And I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I've asked Corey directly, and that look, I look at you one of three ways, Corey. Okay. Either everything that you say is as you have presented it. That's the first thing, right? Just as it is. Or B, you're a shyster and a fraud, and you've made it all up to make money. Or C, you're being messed with, and these are implanted memories, and you think they are real. And Corey, you confuse me. You're one of the three. And that's the honest way to look at it. The mind-blowing thing that I've experienced that most haven't. Okay, most haven't. Most have only heard Corey on Fade to Black or Coast to Coast or Gaia Television. Right. That's it. A few thousand out there, well, more than that, maybe, 10, 20,000, have seen him in person doing a seminar. But very few have sat down with Corey and shared a glass of ice water and had a conversation and looked into each other's eyes and talked. Okay? I have. And I'm a pretty good judge of character. And I know when I'm being messed with. So if he is messing with me, he deserves an Academy Award. Okay? That's
what I'm saying. I mean, if it's an empathic memory for him, he wouldn't be able to discern whether it actually happened to him or not. Unless he had some other way of doing that. Like, if I talk to you about something, you tell me an emotional story, I can relive the memory, but I know it's yours.
Right.
Now, if I'm dreaming or something and happen to come upon your story, I would still remember it as mine.
Right.
As my dream, my story.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's.
So I think there's so much to him. You know, he seems like an empath. I think that part of it is actually his, but part of it may be stuff he picked up from others.
Yeah, could be, and intentionally. Yeah, intentionally. That's a very good way of looking at it, Chris. And again, so now I have 4 versions. Thank you for that, pal.
You're welcome.
Have a great night. Have a great night, Chris, and thank you for the phone call.
You're welcome.
And that was well done. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy.
Yes.
Jimmy, it's Brian from the Sandbox, man. What is up?
Hey, man, how are you, man? Hey, I just posted your picture over on Facebook.
Yeah, right on.
No, I had to, man. I had to, and in have you ever called the show before?
I have never called the show before.
So
I think though that Kim and I were just talking. I think I'm the 1100th and 11th caller tonight.
1100. So I just posted. I said this was just posted on Twitter. Too cool to not post over here on Facebook. This is Brian and his friend and a green guy, not in any particular order. So there you go.
Nice.
So I got it up there.
Nice.
What's on your mind?
Right on.
What's on your mind tonight?
Nothing, man. Me and Kim are just hanging out. We are. Say hi, Kim.
Oh, hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Kim.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
All right.
We love you.
We love you guys. No doubt. No doubt.
Cool.
Yeah, right on. We're just hanging out, watching the show. Really digging it.
Right on. Well, I'll give you the thumbs up right here. So there you go, Brian. Okay.
Right on.
So, real quick before I let you go, first time caller and everything, but the subject tonight, what is the one film that you think everybody should see?
Well, there's 3. It's the 3-in-1, right? It's got to be Zeitgeist.
Oh, good call. See, Brian?
It's got to be.
That's why you're a Fadernight. That's why you're a Fadernight right there.
Right on.
Thank you so much, man. Hey, Kim, you guys enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you, Jimmy.
We'll see you at ECETI.
You'll be at ECETI?
Yes, sir.
That's going to be great, and we'll start rolling that out next week and let everybody know exactly what's going on. But we'll see you guys up there. It's a magical place.
Right on. Good night, Fadernight.
There you go. Brian and Kim, they've got the big screen going on in the background, too, as well. And so there you go. Thank you so much. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Megan. How you doing today?
Hi, Megan. How are you?
I'm good. I thought the last guy who just spoke was really interesting, where he made a great point, and I wanted to kind of share an experience I had. So given that I thought that Corey Goode was disabled or was on disability when all this kind of came out and he blew up.
Mm-hmm.
I found that, because I've been on disability too and sick and stuff, and I found myself falling asleep to YouTube, listening to all these crazy YouTube documentaries and, all the really interesting, alien-based and UFO-based.
Yeah, you've got Megan, you've got YouTube on autoplay, right? So
I used to.
I do it. You never know what's coming up, and you're having some crazy dream, and you wake up, and it's some crazy Illuminati video that somehow. Yeah, I do it all the time.
You have no idea.
I do.
All these various themes of things that I was dreaming about.
I know, right?
And I was like, "Where did all this come from?" And it didn't dawn on me for a while. It really didn't. I didn't really understand why I was having these crazy dreams until I started realizing that I was listening. My brain was listening to YouTube while I was sleeping, and so it was getting, some kind of synthesis of ideas. So, I think the last guy might be. I'm not saying Corey Goode, high or crazy or anything like that. I'm no way saying that, and I'm no way gaslighting him. We all have our own experiences, and and no one can tell me that I didn't experience them, and so on and so forth.
Right.
But I can say that we are easily influenced by things that are around us, and I think that there, I think the simplest explanation sometimes is the real explanation, which brings me to the Mandela effect. The majority of the Mandela effect call-outs have been debunked. The majority of them. So I'm at first I was kind of excited about the Mandela effect because, people were kind of making the Bernstein versus Bernstein and all that. But then the majority of those were debunked.
Yeah, and so let me throw okay. I'm just going to mess with your head a little bit. You don't mind, do you? Okay.
Oh, God, no.
Okay, so what if the debunking is correcting the timeline because people mentioned it and brought it out to the surface and the mistakes were gone back and fixed?
You mean the people who are creating the timelines went back and fixed the code?
Yeah.
No, I heard about that, but come on.
Wait a minute. See, now, just like Jon Rappoport just brought up with the movie Network and and George Orwell, the things that they had always said is those that can control the past control the future, right? Yes. And so 1984 was based on, have you read 1984? It's okay if you haven't, but have you read it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 1984, Fahrenheit.
Right.
Yeah,
okay, so you've read 1984, so you know that the job of the Ministry of Defense was to go back and alter history. All of the newspapers, all of the thing, all of the written, go back and alter it to fit the agenda for the future and to fit their agenda.
They can't go into your house. They're not going to go into your house, into your old boxes of all your old games and change the icons. They can't do that.
Right.
There's just that's impossible to do.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Or the old book that you have in a box that was, that you've been saving, for your own child, that has the correct spelling of, this, in theory, Mandela effect that's out there. They can't change that. I get that they can go online and do all that.
What if I told you what if I told you somebody sent me the movie, the file of Shazam?
They sent you the movie of the Shazam?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, see, so... exactly. So now that's when we have to back up and go, well, I'm not so sure. This is what I'm confused.
Well, it's not an all or nothing thing. Right?
It's not all or nothing.
But the majority, but there's a lot of people who are kind of going over the rails on this,
and for good reason. And the reason is this. And Megan, this is where I trip. It's not one little thing, and it's not two little things. It is. We are talking about millions and millions of people around the world questioning their memories. And are we suggesting here that everybody's memories are faulty and that people can remember things differently in a mass scale? I'm not talking about 1,000 people with issues. I'm talking about everybody. They've
been gaslighting us our whole entire lives. The medical area, the medical organization gaslights their patients. Everybody gaslights each other, and at some point it's like that movie Network, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. But who's going to listen to that?
Who? And see the other part of it is where we have the fantastical. Well, fantastic means fans, but fantastical could also mean the crazy part of it. And the crazy part of it is what people are saying. That's the crazy part. Okay, so that's the Mandela effect and the Mandela effect community and people listing in forums and examples of this and that. Okay, all right. So that's
my
the
friends
right,
said this
right,
and they heard that.
Right. So we'll leave that out. But then there's the other side of it, which is the science side of the Mandela effect. And I'm here to tell you that science has proven today parallel worlds do exist. And with quantum theory, quantum mechanics, qubits, the way that Silicon Valley is now working with the science side of this, that right there says that there are an infinite amount of parallel worlds. A world where you, Megan, exist, but maybe in that world you had a peanut butter sandwich for lunch instead of a salad. And you say
I totally agree with that.
Right.
I mean, that's no doubt.
So,
there's no doubt we are faced with an infinite amount of decisions every single day, and each decision takes us on a whole other world, a whole other path.
So how do we
completely agree with you?
Right. So how do we not know that occasionally that these worlds clash? That's it. That they clash. And in that world, Captain Crunch is spelled captain instead of Cap'n. How do we not know that? And somewhere along the line, when you were a kid, or somewhere you experienced something with that parallel world, whatever it is, you remember it, and then you grow up, and then you go back to that memory, and you're like, wait a minute, no, I remember it differently. It's not that you made a mistake. The memory is real. It was just a glimpse of something, and that's all that I'm suggesting. And the possibility is real. The possibility of that is real.
They've done studies, though, with the brain that, you can't even rely on an eyewitness of a crime anymore because they've done studies where, you ask them, a series of questions, and you ask them the same questions a few minutes later and make suggestions, they'll not remember it the same way. So I get what you're saying completely, but to your point, though, when something is documented, well documented, and then all of a sudden it changes, and everybody's saying, well, it's always been like that, that's when you go, okay, there's something really funny. And there are definitely evidence of that. So there's no question. I don't question that. It's just that there's a majority of the Mandela effects that have been debunked, and I thought it was important to point out.
Absolutely, Megan, and thank you for bumming everybody out tonight. Megan is the best.
I know, I'm such a bummer. And can I bum people out more, just one more second?
Sure. You're on a roll. Go ahead.
Childhood, and you mentioned it before, and that I think if people can find that movie, I mean, it was like a mini series, like a 3 parts or 4 parts.
It's 3, yeah.
But seriously, I mean, I believe it's kind of prophetic, along with the other one with the Day That Earth Stood Still. I believe that actually happened. That's my weirdness. So.
Well, now, childhood's end, the reason, well, there's so many reasons why that movie affects people, but certainly the images of Satan, how we have been, given this image of Satan our whole lives, and that turns out to be what, E.T. looks like, and he's got to stay hidden behind that mirror, and that's how he communicates, because if people see him, he's going to freak out, and he's here to help everybody, right? Well, so there's that part of it. But what you don't see coming, especially if you haven't read the book, the short story, is the ending, because the ending is final. That's it, right? It's over. And that, writing it like that, this is why I find it so. I've always said Hollywood never writes, a real ending to a movie, right? There'll always be some happy ending. It's always, no matter what's going on, it's going to be a happy end. It's going to be happy. They never do an ending to the movie where, like, this is it, right? Right?
Yeah.
But they did in Childhood's End. And so once because the whole story is so compelling and so fun all the way through, man, all the way through, the kids all of that is just wow, right? And that in and of itself is a great, fun story. What you don't expect is the end. I'm not going to give that away for anybody that hasn't seen it, but that ending of the movie, you're like, holy crap, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Megan.
It's sort of like be careful what you wish for.
well, and in Childhood's End, none of it mattered. That's the other thing. No matter what, nothing mattered. Nothing.
Exactly.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, it's a great movie. Thank you, Megan. Behave and be well. We'll see you tomorrow night on Coast to Coast.
All right. See you later.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, great phone call right there. The Mandela effect, I'm still not, even after X-Files last night, X-Files ended up, well, I don't want to give it away. But my thoughts are, I'm with the people that are experiencing Mandela effect because I've had my own 2 or 3 little things with it that are still messing with my head. There's that part. And like I said with Megan right here, we have our community and those and the forums and the people and the examples and the photographs and Mandela effect and and movies and all of the presentations and Forrest Gump and the Academy Awards and on and on and on and on and on. Right? So you have that. The evidence is out there and has been presented. But that's one segment of it. The other part of Mandela effect, and I talked about it today at the beginning of the show, which is this. There are millions and millions of people out there that are questioning their own memories. That's the thing. And so are we willing to step back, especially the skeptics, and say that everybody is crazy? That nobody can depend on their own memories? Is that really what you're suggesting here? We need to be very, very, very careful with that. And it also goes down with UFO sightings, abductions, experiences, right? Where people by the millions are reporting contact and abductions and communications and sightings in the sky. You just can't go and dismiss millions of people because I've seen things in the sky. I am not going to dismiss these things. I am not. And it's the same thing with the Mandela effect. There is science that's backing up what may be happening with the Mandela effect, including CERN. And I presented that over the years here many, 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 many times. All right, let's take a break. I've got lots of calls on hold. Everybody stay right there. I will get to everybody before the end of the show. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night, Fader night. Now, when I come back, I'm going to go with area code 514 first, and then I'll switch over to area code 713, and we'll take it from there. I'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on the smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go Beckley Tappy. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. Wow, this show went fast tonight. Oh, well, we still got 2 segments left. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Open lines all night long. Love some of these movie suggestions. Some that I didn't quite think about up front, but one of them was Gabriel said 12 Monkeys, and I like that. And then there's and now Cortana and IPD said, what about Jodorowsky's Dune? And watch that documentary. It's pretty good. All the work that went into that and the casting of Dune, before Dune was made, and his version of it. And that's a pretty good documentary. But that's a movie that nobody will ever see, right? 1984, the movie. I think everybody is still up in agreement about a childhood's end too, as well. And that was a really good point. So anyway, back to the phones. Let's see. Let's go with area code 514. You're up next. Who's calling?
Hi, I'm Fred from Montreal.
Hey, Fred from Montreal. How are you? Cold?
I'm fine. Yes, it is cold here.
It's I remember I was in Montreal, been there many times, love that city, by the way, but I was up there in like August in summer, and I turned to my friend who's from Montreal. He's from Jonquière, right? Up north. And I go, dude, it's like it's August and it's 60 degrees and people are wearing shorts. He goes, dude, this is as hot as it gets, and it's like this for a month. Let us enjoy it. Right? Like,
yeah,
wow.
I know.
So anyway, what's on your mind tonight, Fred?
All right, just a few things really quickly. You mentioned the movies that we can all see. I got two of them real quickly. The first one is Thrive by Procter Campbell.
Yep.
I think that would be a good one that could wake people up. And also Vax, regarding the vaccine, the MMR vaccine from our good folks at the CDC. That would be a good one with the autistic children that we have. I think that would be two good movies to for people to see, you know.
Yeah, you're right about that. Vaxxed, we saw the premiere with Del Bigtree here in Los Angeles, and you know Del's been on the show a couple of times. We're going to see him next week at the Conscious Life Expo. But Vaxxed is a movie that everybody should see. There's no doubt about it. And the way that the numbers are presented. By the time you get to the end of the movie, it's a pretty daunting future for us here if we don't start doing something about it right now and our children and the future. And they talk about the money that is involved. It's going to eat up our entire budget for the United States to take care of our autistic children. Yep. Okay. So
and regarding the Mandela effect. All right, I got a good one. Back in 1994, I took two of my ex-girlfriends out to see a movie, and I really remember this really clearly. The movie was Interview with a Vampire.
Right.
And I really believe that it was Interview with a Vampire. And I look around on Google today, and it's Interview with the Vampire.
Right, the instead of
Yeah. I know, and I think, you know, what's good about it is I got a friend that we were arguing about this a couple of days ago, and he says, dude, I think I got a picture taken in front of the poster, the movie poster back in 94 with one of his friends. I said, can you find that picture? Because it would prove it that it's Interview with a Vampire.
And did he ever find it?
He's looking for it. He hasn't gone back to me, but if I can find it, I'll print it out and I'll send it to you. That would be good.
I would love that. And Fred, you would be the most famous person in the world. So, yeah, definitely.
I don't know. We'll see if I can get it.
All right, man. Hey, Fred.
Hey, one really quick thing.
Sure.
You ever thought about bringing Neil Donald Walsh to your show? He's the author of the Conversation with God series book, and those books really helped me out.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that tip. And always remember that a large amount of our guests that we have here on Fade to Black are suggested from the audience. So thank you for that.
Yeah, okay, and great show, Jimmy. I love you guys. A really good show. And if I can get a T-shirt one day, I'll send an email to Rita again to see if I can get the T-shirt.
Okay, send an email to Rita, okay? And send her your shirt size and your address. We'll get one up there to you. No problem. Thank you,
All
Fred.
Right. I love you, Jimmy. Great.
Back at you.
Job.
Absolutely. Montreal, what's crazy about Montreal, when you drive around the city there and you go to the outside of town where the houses are, and you're driving up and down the streets in the summer, you notice that all of the houses have these beautiful iron stairways with these they're beautiful, but they all go up to the second floor of the house. Every house is that way. It's the way they're designed. And I turned to my friend, I go, dude, what's up with these beautiful iron, but they all go to the... He goes, dude, we got 10 feet of snow here. That's why everybody lives on the second floor of their house, man. There's 10 feet of snow here in the winter. And I was like, oh, I get it. I go, somebody here is making a lot of money building these beautiful, ornate iron, staircases, for the front of the house. He goes, yeah, man, it's big business. And so there you go. All right. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, you're live. Okay. All right, man. I hate to do this, but okay. All right. Let's go here. Hi, you're live on. You're live.
Hi, Jimmy.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Ronnie. How you doing?
This is who?
Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie. How are you?
Oh, all right. Trying to get over this flu.
Everybody's trying to get over the flu, Ronnie.
Hey, I got a kind of off-topic question for you.
Sure.
Jon Rappoport.
Uh-huh.
I'm not home a lot, but when I am home, I like to watch like old television shows, and one of my favorite shows is MASH.
Right.
And when they roll the credits of MASH, there's a guy in the credits. I'm not sure what he does. His name is Jon Rappoport. Not the same guy, is it?
Ah, interesting. Well, I tell you, I'll ask John about that, but what you could do is go to, I can't do it, I'm live on the air right now, but go to IMDb, look up MASH, go to full cast and crew, and click on that and scroll down. He's no matter what, he's listed there because he's got a credit, whoever this Jon Rappoport is, for MASH. It'll be there. Click on that and go and see if Jon Rappoport has an IMDb page. And hold on for a second. Let's see here. John, you know what? It's Thursday night. Let's just do this in real time. Jon Rappoport, IMDb, boom, done. Jon Rappoport, IMDb. There is a Jon Rappoport. That's this Jon Rappoport. Okay, so here he is. That's our Jon Rappoport. Okay, there's no. Okay. So our Jon Rappoport doesn't have a credit for MASH, but that's not. But,
I think you're saying Rappoport with an O.
Yes.
Okay, all right. The guy in MASH is with an A.
Oh, okay. Wouldn't that be funny though? Right?
I keep thinking this, and I keep hearing this guy every Thursday night, and I one of these days I'm going to call and ask.
Well, you
I didn't even think
did.
about the IMDb deal.
All right. Hey, Ronnie, so really quick before I let you go, what's the one movie that everybody should see?
Well, I don't know if everybody needs to see it, but one of my favorite movies of all time was Little Big Man with Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, great movie.
It's not, along the lines of the movies you've been mentioning tonight, but for me, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Thank you for that, Ronnie. And, thank you for the phone call, my friend.
Thank you.
And what's really cool about what Ronnie just did there is so many in the audience just went, Little Big Man, Dustin Hoffman. Yeah, good call. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, hi, this is Cliff from Houston.
Hey, Cliff from Houston, Texas. How are you?
Pretty good. Hey, I wanted to talk about the Mandela effect.
Okay.
I've been listening to your show now for a couple of years. And when I first heard it, I said, well, maybe. It's stranger things. Anything's possible.
Right.
And then when you brought up a couple names, and I looked up a few more, and then I asked other people, like Jiffy, is it Jif or Jiffy, and blah, 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 and they all came up with, some came up with the current answer, and some came up with the old answer.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just forget about that for a minute. A couple of years go by, and I'm going through my closet, and I'm taking out, I hope I can say this, my old bong that I used to use years ago.
Right.
And it was a Tommy Chong. And it had a picture of Tommy Chong in the base of it.
Right.
So I said, just for laugh, I pick it up and I go to look. And I said to my wife, oh, my God, tell me I'm nuts. Look at this. Completely different face.
Oh,
so
really?
She looks at it and she goes, that's not the face that was on it. I said, yeah. Tell me the Mandela effect is garbage now.
Yeah. Whose face is...
I'm telling you, it changed.
Whose face is on it now?
I don't. It's a fat face. No, this is a. So when I went online to look at it now,
right,
it's a completely different face. So I put in 80s original Tommy Chong bong and it came up. It's different.
Wow.
So I said to the wife, I said, don't ever tell me there's no such thing as different dimensions and different shifts. I think the problem is that some people shift and others don't. But the ones that do shift, they start to pick it up and notice it, and the other ones don't. We're all traveling together, but the fold between them, it has to be instantaneous.
Right.
Because it just happens way too fast.
Yeah, you're right about that. And it would have to, if it was going to be correct and done correctly, it would be everybody all at once. And obviously that's turning out to be impossible. But I also visit the other side of it, man. The other side of just possibly, Cliff, just possibly, you were at with your Tommy Chong Bong back in the day.
I understand what you're saying.
And you saw an alternative version of it at that instant, right? And that's your memory, and you're sticking to that. And today we're in our version of that world, and you got a glimpse of another version of it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. We're all still trying to figure this out. I'm going with the parallel worlds thing. I don't know if it's timelines being changed and people coming back and changing our time. That could be. It could be time travelers. But I'm thinking parallel worlds, man. I'm thinking the show Fringe. That's where I'm going.
There is definitely something. And I don't care how close-minded you are. It's not going to stop it from happening.
You remember?
It happens. That's all there is to it.
Was it Superman that had Bizarro World?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember I was a little kid, and I watched the very first episode of Superman. This is cute. It almost cost me my life, which it did cost other children their lives.
You jumped off the roof with a towel tied to your neck.
I got the towel around my neck, and I dove off the couch, and I was going to sail around the living room, and I hit the floor like a ton of bricks, and everybody laughed at me. And I said, "Mommy, why can't I fly?" And she said, "Because you're not Superman."
We all did that.
Other kids jumped out the window.
Yeah, I jumped off the roof of I jumped off the roof of the house. Absolutely. Cliff, behave and be well, my friend.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Great phone call right there. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
How are you this evening, Mr. Jimmy Church?
I'm a lot better now. How are you, Steve? Everybody, it's Steve from Bluefield. I need.
How is all the Fadernight?
I need. You know what I need, Steve? Because you call in so infrequently that when you do call in, I need like applause. I need an applause track in the background to run.
Well, you know that I feel so blessed because over the course of your show, Jimmy. First of all, I want to congratulate you on, breaking into the top 25.
Oh yeah, yes, right? We did. Yes, we did. We came in at number 25 last quarter.
Well, I'm a firm believer that you're going to break the top 10. Within another year or so. I mean, and I've been, listening since the very, very, very beginning, and I've truly been blessed, and thank you so much, Jimmy, for you allowing me to express myself and spend so much time on the air. And when there's just as many people that have just as much interesting things, or probably far more interesting things than I have to say, and you've given me far more time than I ever deserve. But I listen every night. There's never ever there would have to be something drastically wrong for me to miss a show, and if I don't listen to it live, I listen to it, the next day. And I just feel that, because you gave me so much time when I do call in, that, other people need to get the opportunity to get just as much time as you've blessed me with, Jimmy.
Well, and thank you for
that.
But
don't ever forget that I am guaranteed 1% Steve Bunker is listening to Fade to Black Monday through Thursday. It doesn't fail. It's a schedule thing. I mean, it's been going on. It's, so common now that, my wife basically hands me my iPad at 10 o'clock, at 10 minutes till 10, fully charged with my headphones, because she knows that from 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Thursday, I'm listening to Fade to Black.
Oh, man, that is so cool.
That's just how it is. So.
Oh, man, that's unbelievable. And, this is the thing, when you said it would take something drastic for me not to be, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, well, you did that too.
yeah, that did happen.
I'll never forget when you called in after that. You had been gone for a couple of months, and I was all upset with you. Where have you been? What's your excuse? And you're like, dude, well, I died.
Yes, I did. I died for 20, I believe it was 24 minutes, I believe is what I was out for.
Yeah, and that phone call that night on Fade to Black was one of the most remarkable conversations in the history of radio, not just this program, but what a conversation that night. And let me ask you this, Steve, because you listen to the show every night, and when we have somebody on talking about a near-death experience, and we've done that a lot lately. Certainly Daniel Brinkley, and we had Richard Shaw on last week.
Last week.
And when you hear about those experiences, none of them are the same. Everybody seems to have their own experience, and you came on this show and told us about what you went through. We don't have to relive that tonight, but. Your experience was different from everybody else's. Do you have concern with that? What's your opinion? Why do you think everybody's near-death experience is so different and different from your very own?
Well, Jimmy, I think that a lot of that has to do with your beliefs, maybe some of your religious beliefs. And, some of it has to do with the way that you're passing on to the next phase of your soul or of your energy source, transferring into the next plane of existence. Because, I truly believe that none of us die. Our energy source is just passed on to either another dimension or another plane of existence, or we're reincarnated. But our energy source is forever, and I believe is forever and is internal. So, and if you, I guess if you have a bad death or a violent death, I think that has something to play into your experience of passing. I think there's a lot of variables, Jimmy, that plays into everyone's passing when you no longer need this shell of a body, whether it's peaceful or violent or, whatever.
Right.
That energy source is, I don't really know how to explain it, that it's, it's just, I believe it's just different for everyone else, and I think a lot of it too has to do with, how good you lived your life, whether you was, service to yourself or, service to others.
Mm-hmm.
Did you live right? Did you try to do stuff more for people than you tried to do for yourself?
What was,
and I think that's part of the experience. That part of the human experience,
Right. Well, the Rick Shaw the other night, and I know you sat up and listened when he said this. He said that there are two types of deaths. One where you die, you have your NDE, but your body is complete. So you're able to come back and have your second chance. And then there are those that are like blown up, right? The body is blown up. And so you don't have a body. Your death is final. That's it. I mean, there is no coming back. So those on the other side don't experience that possibility. They are now in another world, and they may not even know that they have died, right? It's just right now. And for you, when you heard Richard say that, what was your reaction? I know you had a couple of thoughts. What were you thinking when he said that?
Well, because it for me, because it was so emotional, and I still struggle with it to this day, Jimmy, because of the feeling of the overwhelming feeling of peace and love that I had, and basically, didn't want to really come back to my physical body, but not knowing that I was passing on,
right.
And I still live with that regret that I could have left my wife and my children, and I still struggle with that, but it's just something that I have to deal with, from time to time. It hits me kind of hard, but I really don't know how to explain, how if someone, like you said, if they're blown up and they pass, and what is it that that gives them any kind of idea, because it's instant, like you said, say that, that someone is blown up in an explosion, okay, and it's instant. There's no knowledge
of what happened
in your brain, right in your brain. There's nothing in your brain that is telling your brain that you're dying. So how does that chemical and energetic reaction apply to to this physical field and this energy field that we all possess? It's a very, very tough subject to work around, Jimmy. It really is.
And this is what's most important here, Steve. I think that everybody needs to listen to your words, because you experienced something that very, 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 it's a small number of people that have experienced and are able to come back and express it and tell us exactly, what happens when you die and what you go through. You did, and we need to listen, because your opinion matters here. Your experience matters. I don't have that experience, and most don't. And so when you have an opinion on this, because it's based on your experience, we have to stop and we have to listen. And that's why we love you, man. And just thank you. Thank you for being here from the beginning. And you know how excited I am every single time you call the show. And and we love you, man. So just thank you for all of that.
I love you, Jimmy, and love all the Fadernights, and I love all the support that was given to me after I told my story, about what happened. And, like I said, it's something that I still struggle with. It's not as bad now as it was for the first several months after it happened. Like I said, I had quite a bit of regret of, excuse me, of leaving, my wife and children, and not loving them so much, your family, and kind of you just when you're in your physical form, I'm so in love with my wife. I've been married for over 20 years. My children are grown. And I love them with all my heart. But I had no real desire to come back to reality.
Yep, I know. And Steve, your phone, Steve, we love you. But yeah, we've lost Steve's connection. So there you go. Sorry about that, Steve. It's your phone, and somebody from the other side doesn't want you to have that conversation. So there you go. Steve from Bluefield, everybody. I'm going to take a break right here. I've got to go to commercial. And when I come back, we'll continue with your phone calls. And we'll go with area code 360 and then area code, let's see, I'll pull this one up right here, 415. You'll be next. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight. Open lines all night long. Stay with us.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
So you went to dinner last night, you had your favorite pasta. Ugh. Or maybe you had a heavy, spicy meal and it left you. Ugh. Get the tea.com. Maybe you mowed down a huge steak and your plumbing is all plugged. Ugh. Get the tea.com. Our super strength tea will take care of your occasional. Ugh. It's all organic and non-GMO. Get rid of ugh. We have so many great supplements, but our super tea is number one. GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hey, can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, You know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at naturesyouth.com. naturesyouth.com. The holidays are coming. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at naturesyouth.com. That's naturesyouth.com.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black, Fadernight, Thursday night. Open lines all night long, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. What is the one movie, right? The one movie. And I was, Contact is right there. I just saw that pop up on Twitter. And I was also letting my mind wander a little bit. And there is a little known movie that came out about 10 years ago called Moon. And that's a strong movie too as well. I don't know if it's the one that everybody should see, but it's one that is right there for me, starring Guy 156 from Galaxy Quest. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black, area code 360. You're up next.
Hi, Jimmy. It's Tanette.
Hi, Tanette. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
What's the one movie? What's the one movie, Tanette?
The one movie that I thought was, if you want to do a comedy, what I thought was hilarious was Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, you know how many times I've seen that? I've seen it 50 times, probably more. Great soundtrack, funny from beginning to end. There's no doubt about it. And so there you go. Okay, yeah, I'm with you on that. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
The music is awesome on that.
Absolutely. You know what? I might do some of that for bumper music tomorrow night on Coast. Good call.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay.
So the reason I like that one is because it's got a little bit of it talks about the sirens.
Yep.
And it also talks about the guy being baptized. That was kind of weird. It was like, I don't know. It's like a fringe movie in disguise.
It is. What's his name gets turned into a frog.
Right.
Yeah. Can't forget about that. Yeah. You're and you have the deluge, right? You have the flood.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a bunch of things in there. The fringe, supernatural, paranormal stuff are there. You're right. Oh, also, you have, and unless you catch it, but the guitar player that shows up, it's the deal with the devil, so you have that part of it too as well. He's the magical guitar player that can play, and so Crossroads, Faust.
Right.
You have that aspect too. So yeah, you're right about that tonight. Good call.
Exactly. And the movie is just hilarious anyway.
So what else is on your mind?
Oh, that was it. That was just, I wanted to call in with my favorite movie.
There you go. Thank you, Tanette. And it's a good call too. I'm so with you on that. So listen to Coast to Coast tomorrow night. I'm going to get some Oh Brother, We're Out There, thou on the show tomorrow night. Thank you, Tanette. Have a good night.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Good call. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Danny from the end of the earth. How are you doing?
Danny from the ends of the earth. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I wanted to call you tonight and tell you how great the radio, that was classic radio Monday night you had on, and you did such a great, wonderful job of presenting it. It was just a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it was. You're talking about Roxanne Swainhart, and you're absolutely right. That was a fun, cool show for a lot of different reasons. But yeah, I'm with you on that. That was, and for me to have God tell me no, hey, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, it was just great. It's like they're out of four. I've been listening to Flying Saucer Radio for like 20 years late at night, and that would go down with the top 5 I've listened to. I swear, it's just classic radio, man. And I really like your show. And for movies, I have to go with Blade Runner, the final cut.
Oh, that's really good. Yes,
that's one. But the current stuff out, I'd say Valerian. I'd have to go down for Valerian.
Yeah, I'm with you on Valerian. And I was hanging out with my family a couple of weekends ago, and we're all movie, freaks, and we're sitting around talking about. They were talking about the new Star Wars, right? And I said, you need to check out Valerian. And I've been doing Valerian now, Rita and I, about once a week. We're going back and watching it over and over again because it's a fantastic film. Great character development, great special effects, great story. You've got everything there. You've got extra dimensions. You've got E.T. and you've got faster than the speed of light travel and so you have all of that. But Luc Besson has a way of telling a story. And the story in this with the planet mule and the pearls and what goes on there is really good, effective storytelling. Now, it's taken from a comic book, which Luc Besson likes to do, a graphic novel called Valerian. And so he's got that, and he's able to get those graphic novels like The Fifth Element, where this is what I like about the movie Valerian and the way Luc Besson does stuff. He has the ability to take the fantastic artwork from these graphic novels and get it from the book to the screen. He's got a really good ability there to do that. And the spaceships and the way that, because in these graphic novels, they look so great and they're so cool, and these artists are amazing today. And Luc Besson recognizes that, and he's able to get that from page to screen, and he does it really effectively. And Valerian it might be as good as The Fifth Element, and that's pushing it. I mean, because Fifth Element is at a whole nother level, right? That is an extraordinary film. And I think Valerian is right there. It's just as good. And I know people think I'm nuts for saying it, but you have to go and see the movie.
Yeah, it's absolutely rich, fantastic visuals in that movie. And you can almost see the cartoon frame by frame going through like the 2 or 3 hour movie that it is. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. When it comes to new movies, Arrival is really good. Prometheus is really good. The new Alien Covenant was really good. I like the last 2 Star Wars films. Those were done really well too. But the movie Contact is up there too as well. 2001: A Space Odyssey is the king. It's top of the heap, and Close Encounters and Star Wars Episode 4. They're all right there. These are important films. And then when you jump out of that genre and you look at things like Godfather or The Shawshank Redemption, these are important films too, that need to be seen, which takes us right to Network. Network is an important film.
Yeah, that is a great film. It's hard to believe that it came and went so fast in people's consciousness. Network did.
Yeah, it's 40 years ago now. Oh man. I just can't even believe that. And if you look at, when we think about what 40 years is, Danny, think about this. 1976, that movie came out. 40 years before that was World War II. Right? Now, that's an extraordinary amount of time. What happened in 40 years between World War II and Network? Well, we went from jet engine props, right? Propellers, to jet engines to the moon. Right? Yep. That's what 40 years represents. And so think about, and 1976 to me doesn't seem like 40 years ago. It just doesn't. No. I mean, 1976, 1986, 1996, 2006, 2016. Holy crap. That's, wow, man. Wow. It's hard to believe it's been 40 years. Thank you so much, Danny, for the phone call, my friend.
Well, thank you, Jimmy. What a pro you are. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow night on Coast.
Okay, I'll be there. Bye.
Have a good night. Valerian, I want to, I'm going to go here. I've got enough time. I just cleared out all of the phone calls. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Talking about important films, Blade Runner, right there. I mean, a Blade Runner for me for many, many, many years, I thought it was the perfect film. And the final cut with the additional scenes and the dream sequence and stuff that were added to it certainly made it an even more complete film. But the movie Valerian is so good. Visually, it is right there. So you're able to stay totally engaged. The other part of Valerian is the story. And as far as E.T. goes for us and Alien Contact and the International Space Station and where we are today, it goes back to Soyuz, by the way, and Skylab and when they made that connection. But anyway, and the future of the universe is in the Magellan Current. And if you haven't seen it, remember what I just said. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy. It's Josh.
Hey, Josh. How are you?
It's been a minute. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
It has been a minute. It's been longer than that. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Life is good. Hey, we just tuned in. Y'all talking about movies?
Yeah. What's the one movie everybody should see?
Made in America.
Oh, Eddie Murphy?
No. Well, that one, the new one with Tom Cruise about Barry Seal.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I was thinking Coming to America. What is this, Velvet? But, I haven't seen it yet. Barry Seals, Tom Cruise plays the famous pilot flying drugs for the CIA. I hear it's great. Wild. I heard it's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's it's every bit from what I've heard about it. Just about the true story. I'll tell you a movie that I watched. It's been a while. I don't know when it came out. 10 years ago, maybe. And I think it was called There Will Be Blood with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yep.
I thought that was awesome. Just how the greed. I forgot who he was. I don't know if he was portraying Rockefeller. It's been so long since I've seen it, but thought that was excellent. I'll drink your milkshake. And,
I heard that.
Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I've seen it many times. The news broke, I think it was last week, that Daniel Day-Lewis is retiring.
Really?
Yeah, this film that he's got coming out is going to be his last. That's it. Yeah.
They say why?
I think he's done. You know, and every film that he has ever been in has been, you know, if you think about it, The Gangs of New York, right? All of his films have been just extraordinary. I never saw Lincoln, though. I didn't see that. But Daniel Day-Lewis is retiring.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I'd call in and say hello. It had been a while. We just been out here, just really not much up to nothing, traveling a little bit. But other than that, and I missed a few shows that I'd like to talk to with Daryl Sims.
Yep.
And I'm going to listen to that and check it out. But I just wanted to call in. I love you, brother, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Josh. And Josh from Texas. And again, this is like old friends night here. Haven't talked to Josh in a long time. Great to hear his voice. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is Chad. How are you doing, bro?
Hey, Chad, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I was just thinking about that movie, Stigmata, and the impact that had on me when I saw it. You know, wrestling with the ideas of God and ideology, and the way that presented the message of Christ and that consciousness that... you know, and the ideas of the suppression from within the church, and the way that opened my mind was just really incredible on this journey.
Yeah, and what was it for you? Was it the visuals, a specific scene, or the overall message?
Oh, well, I say the message of that was coming through from Christ. It was, you know, I'm not in church, but if you split a piece of wood, I'm there. You know, if you pick up the stone, you'll find me.
Right.
And anybody would want to suppress that.
Yeah.
You know, just like what we're going through with disclosure.
Yeah, you're right. And Chad, I'm going to let you know that your call is really breaking up, and we're at the end of the show. But I do want to thank you for calling in and hitting us with that. I saw Stigmata once, but the other part of Stigmata that I think is very interesting is how that Stigmata was something that we went through from early days of photography, up until, I guess through the 60s, with that too as well. Absolutely fascinating subject. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Last call.
Hi, Jimmy. It's Fran.
Hey, Fran. Last call of the night. What's on your mind?
That's amazing. I was just so amazed when you mentioned Network.
Yeah.
That movie was so exciting to me. I watched it. I was totally enthralled through the whole film, going, oh my God, these people are telling the truth.
Right.
Finally.
Right.
And when they did the final scene, I was like, oh crap. I just went, oh, I don't know. Is this going to affect everybody like it did me or not? And it seems kind of 60-40.
Well, the
or
other...
maybe even less.
Well, this is what was so amazing about Network is that it seemed like it's a movie that shouldn't have been made. They don't make films like that. They don't make films with a correct message. They don't make films that suggest, something that strong and that powerful about society and how the media and television can affect the status quo. Because it is sending a message. Right, it's sending a message out to everybody that what you may be. Manipulated, and you don't even know it. And so who at a movie corporate would say yes to a film like this? So you're taking a
and
chance.
Would they now?
Well, and the same thing kind of like with Running Man. Well, I brought up I brought up Aaron Sorkin earlier. And Aaron Sorkin wrote Newsroom for HBO. And I think they did 2 seasons. And there are a lot of parallels to Newsroom and to Network in that I don't think Newsroom held back. But it didn't go out there suggesting manipulation and media control and mind control like Network did, but it certainly showed you without holding back what it is like and what the personalities are like to put on a network live news broadcast. And Jeff Daniels.
Years later, what happened to the main character in real life? In
Newsroom?
Yeah, the main character.
Who?
That dude. I can't think of his name right now.
Jeff Daniels. Jeff Daniels.
No, it's other guy who was in the show. He got whacked.
I'm trying to.
And they were saying.
Yeah, you're talking about.
Was that from Newsroom?
Well, the guy that died, you're talking about the kid that was kidnapped?
No, he wasn't a kid. He was an older guy. He was like your age.
Oh, the boss.
What you are now, but it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah. You're right.
Big Paxil bullshit thing that. Excuse me.
Beep.
That went on. Beep, beep. Friends calling.
Okay, so what was, aside from Network, what's the one film that everybody should see for you?
Oh, my God. You know what I watched the other night, and I just love this movie, and I hate the fact that it's a Disney production, but Flight of the Navigator.
Uh-huh. That's a great movie.
I just thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
And I remember I was just sitting here listening to the radio going, I need to watch that movie again. It's been years. And I watched it and I went, oh my God, it's still as good as ever.
Yeah, Flight of the Navigator is a good flick. You know what Rita and I were watching the other day? We were cooking in the kitchen, and The Sandlot was on in the background.
Oh,
I forgot. Okay. I forgot how good that movie was. And I mean, I just forgot. That is a great flick. It's a great flick. Kids flick,
Yes, it is.
But man, what a great movie. And it was like my childhood. Well, I got to run credits, Fran. Thank you so much.
You betcha.
Yeah, the absolute best.
All righty.
Say goodnight to the Fadernauts.
Good night, Fadernauts. Love you all.
There you go. It's Fran. We're going to see Fran here very soon. Okay, I got to get out of here. I can't believe we just wrapped another Fader night here on Fade to Black. Unbelievable. Next week, we're going to hit I think we're going to do show number 800. Never thought I'd say that. Yeah, next week. I think it'll be next Fader night. It's going to be show number 800. Thank you to Jon Rappoport and everybody who called in and tweeted tonight. Twitter was completely on fire. Tomorrow night, I'm over at Coast to Coast AM, and my guest is Jason Martell, followed by Open Lines all night long. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Kamarian. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster Drew the Geek. Music Doug Aldrich. Intro Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2017 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Until tomorrow night on Coast to Coast, everybody be safe. Go Beckley Teppy.